in there.
All right, I need to get some mozzarella cheese real quick, George. So we'll continue this.
But I just know, for example, Las Vegas, I have a really good friend of mine that her son goes to school. And Las Vegas schools, and it's not the school district's really fault too, James. There's so many people moving there at such a rapid rate.
Is that because of the no taxes?
Pardon me?
Is that because of the no property taxes and stuff like that, you think?
Well, because of the climate, because of the job situation, stuff like that there. But basically, they've blown out the school system.
And it takes too long to build new schools. Give me 2 seconds, George. I got to grab cheese.
Massive overcrowding.
Teachers are therefore overworked.
Teachers are in my opinion, James, I will have to tell you, I think they're way underpaid.
Underpaid.
Because you have to consider the cost of living for what they're getting paid is totally unbalanced.
Yep.
Okay? Because you get a new teacher comes in at $25,000, $30,000.
Are you kidding me? They make more. In Atlanta, teachers start at like 38.
That's very good. They come in at that money, and okay, they're going to pay, let's say, James, they want a nice place, they're going to pay $1,200, $1,300 a month in rent, plus other expenses.
Yep. Well, my mom was a teacher for 31 years.
Oh, well, you know then where I'm coming from.
Yeah, pay sucks. And plus, they spend so much money out of their own pocket just for, like, school supplies and things like that.
Arts and crafts, decorations, stuff like that.
No, a lot of it's tax deductible, but still.
But in my opinion, though, James, is there is the law that there's the No Child Left Behind law, okay?
Yep.
But if you're not a parent that's actually working with that,
it's not proactive,
and using that, your child's just going to get swept right under the carpeting. But, you know, you are entitled to a lot of certain things that... But you really have, once again, James, the key to this whole thing is to become an active parent with your school system. And that's it.
Well, even if you don't have the time to be active in the school system, you still have to be active in your kid's life.
Yeah, but you've got to take the time. You've got to make sure you attend your parent-teacher conferences.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was, like, normal. I didn't consider that active.
You know, stuff like that, like making sure that their homework gets done, making sure that they understand this. If they're not, well, what's going on here? Why aren't we understanding it?
Oh, fuck. Why is this not working? Okay, I didn't turn it on.
I believe in the public school systems because, James, we have to have them.
Oh, completely.
We have
Well, I don't mean do you believe in the idea. Do you believe that they're functional and that they're working?
They have many problems. But is there just a clear-cut answer? And the answer to that is no. The best thing that you can do now is become a parent, become actively involved in your school system. That is one way where you start, rather than just sitting there complaining and moaning and groaning. You know, do something about it.
Grassroots, baby.
You know, and trust me, I know that it does work.
What are your daughter's ages and what do they do again? One just graduated high school, right?
One just graduated high school, one has a marketing degree, and the other one's in grade school.
Okay.
Yep. And I've always instilled in them that...
Work hard, bust your ass.
Well, me and my wife never really had a chance to go to college, James. It just wasn't. But see, you got to understand, I come from a different time.
Completely.
You know, it wasn't in the cards for neither one.
Well, the funny thing is really only 20% of, you know, the country has a college degree. I think that's the statistics.
Nowadays, you have to, James.
Oh, of course.
You have to be college educated.
Why do you think I'm putting myself through this fucking misery? So I can finish up that last year, take my ass to law school, then I can rule the world.
Yep, you have to be college educated.
When I become dictator, George, I'm going to give you something high up in the education department. You might have to slay a few non-believers, but I think it'll be worth it in the long run.
But my concept of what me and my wife have done has worked for my daughters very, very well. And I'm a firm believer in public education. Because let's face it, James.
As long as you have the proactive balance from the parents at home,
Correct.
to reinforce what they're doing in school.
If you do not have if you don't have an education in today's world, you're done. You know, you're gonna just work. You're just gonna work maybe to pay part of your bills. That's it.
Well, that's also, I think, our fault as consumers, because so many people are living outside their means. People are living outside their means. They're living their life on credit. They're putting themselves in debt. So therefore, even what should be considered a livable wage or a good wage doesn't go as far, because they're just living paycheck to paycheck, trying to pay off basic, their fucking credit and everything else. When you ask them what they spend it on, they're like, oh, I don't know.
Well, I'll give you an example, James. Okay.
I like your examples, George. You give me another one.
This is the year
206.
1977. Mm-hmm. You could buy a brand new Buick.
Probably for around $2,000 to $3,000.
$4,000.
$4,000.
A brand new one. Mm-hmm. A full-size car, $4,000. Okay?
Okay.
Nowadays, a brand new full-size automobile,
it's going to run you close to
$20K.
And that's a base model.
Okay? So see, that's a huge, huge difference there. Then, back then you could have like a job that did pay extraordinary money, and you could make it.
And why do you think that is? Do you think it's because so many people are living outside their means now? That instead of people who used to save to buy cars in cash, now people feel like, oh, what's the big deal? I'll finance this, I'll finance that, I'll finance this, I'll finance that.
That is a good point.
Live paycheck to paycheck. And as long as the consumers are willing to pay more for it, well, guess what? They're still going to pump it out. Mm-hmm. And prices will increase as long as there's a demand.
Yep. And see, what happened in our town, James, is during the 80s, man, it wiped it out. Just went in there and just wiped it out. During, we had the real slowdown. That's when my father lost his job.
What industry was he in?
Machine tool.
Wow, what was it? Were computers taking over their jobs, or?
No, they were just closing down.
Just closing down plants?
Work was going overseas. Same place where my mother worked at. My mother worked at a place where they made cabinet hardware.
Mm-hmm. What's the next you need to?
China. That's where they shipped the...
Wait, they shipped the jobs to China in the 80s?
No, this was just...
I was going to say, because we weren't allowed to do business with communist countries.
Check this out, James. This company had been in business since early 1900s. Right around there. One of them real old family companies.
Yep.
Where everybody worked there was real stable with their jobs, treated employees excellent and everything else like that. Of course, as time goes on, they got bought out by a corporation, then another corporation bought them out. And what ended up happening was the jobs started to be sent overseas, where they were making overseas hardware. And then guess what ended up happening? Shut the plant down. And all the people...